Hey guys, welcome back to the King of Random. Today I'm going to show you how to build a super easy and fun PVC bow and arrow that shoots Nerf darts instead of arrows.
Materials you're going to need are super simple. Get some paper towels, a dowel that's going to fit inside your 1/2-inch PVC.
We're using 3/8 dowel.
That is true. Paper clips, paracord, electrical tape, and then only 2 tools are necessary for this project. We have a hacksaw and our hot glue gun.
Super simple. The build is also very quick, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so for the bow length, we're gonna do 4 feet long. So go ahead and grab a tape measure and a marker and just mark out 4 feet. You can use PVC cutters, of course, or a miter saw or something, but I wanna make sure that we do this so it can be replicated by anybody with even the simplest of tools. There we go.
Boom.
So we've got that. Jerem can go ahead and clean up the end for us.
Scrape the burrs out. There we go. Same thing on the outside.
So then we're going to go to one end with our tape measure and mark, make a little dot about 3/4 of an inch down from the top. Go ahead and draw a line too. That's the notch we're gonna cut for our bowstring to slide in. Do the same to the other side.
Making sure you line these up
Correct.
so that they match the far side.
And do the same thing. But technically it doesn't even have to match.
It really does.
Then taking our hacksaw, we'll go ahead and cut right across. A little hard to get it started, and this is much easier if you have a vise to mount the PVC in. Perfect. So you can see that cut there. Then we're going to move and make a second cut about like 1/8 of an inch over. Then we're going to take a pair of pliers and grab that little piece of PVC we've cut out and just wrench it off. Bend it out, keep bending, and it'll pop right off like that. And there is your notch. Do the same to the other side. Hold up, bend it out, it breaks off, boom. Bowstring notch finished. There we go. Now let's just do the same to the other side. All right. So our bow is now done. We just need to add a string.
Quick overhand knot. Gives you everything you need to attach this to the end of your bow. Just like that.
After you have one loop attached to the bow, go ahead and take the string and stretch it out, and we're gonna cut it roughly even. Actually, we'll give ourselves a little extra.
You're just gonna fuse the end of your nylon cord. Just remember it's a plastic, so it actually melts together. Whoa! There we go. Give it a minute. Because yeah, that's hot enough to really burn through your skin. And that hurts.
Sounds like personal experience.
It is. Just a quick overhand
And then
knot.
stick it back through. I don't think I made a large enough loop. Huh? No? Actually, okay. Perfect.
Probably work. I
Then
think
pull it tight.
our paracord might be a touch too long though.
That's fine.
Oh
So
no,
have
I
a
think
trick
you got
for
it. Oh, you're gonna put more knots in it.
that. All right. That looks about right. Let's go ahead and string it up.
Okay, let me demonstrate a great technique for stringing a bow. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna set it on the ground over the 1 foot, you'll step through, and now you can use your legs and your body weight to kind of bend things together. It makes it much, much easier, and everything is nice and stable. And here you've got your strung bow.
You want a 10-inch length of pull. I'm not sure if that's the right phrase, but you want 10 inches between your handle and your bowstring so that you have enough room for the barrel and the dowel to have about 4 inches of space. Anyway, so we are at 7.5 inches, which means we need a tighter bowstring to bend the bow in more. Now here's a fun trick for adjusting a bowstring. Instead of untying and retying your loop knots over and over and over, just go ahead and make a loop in the string. Boom, just like that, put a knot in it. That knot shortens the string. Let's go ahead, let's put 2 knots in it. I think this is a 2-knot problem.
Gotta be symmetrical anyway.
Yeah, right. Boom, boom. And then just string the bow again.
That's looking better.
Ooh, that looks
Oh, nailed
perfect.
it.
So for the barrel, we're gonna take an 18-inch long length of PVC pipe, and we're gonna go ahead and tape that right about there in the middle of the bow. Now, you want to tape it so that you have about 4 inches from the bowstring. So go ahead and lay it out like this with the tape measure, 4 inches from the bowstring, put the PVC there. You can probably use any kind of tape for this, duct tape, scotch tape. We're using electrical tape because I love electrical tape.
It's fairly elastic.
Yeah, it works great. Now the trickiest part is just the first piece of tape because it wants to roll all over the place. So you might have to finagle that a little bit, but once you have the first bit of tape on there, go ahead and start taping in a kind of a crisscross over under pattern like this. So across one way, and you want to pull it pretty tight. The tighter you pull it, the more secure it'll be. Then switch directions, go across the other way. You get the idea. And just tape and tape and tape and tape until it starts feeling secure. Now you want to make sure you keep alternating the direction, because if you go all one direction, it'll twist the PVC in that direction you're taping. So make sure to alternate it.
You want to get it close, but it doesn't have to be perfect. We'll show you a little later why.
Now, let's move on to the piston.
All right, to create your piston, you're just going to cut off the same length that you used right here, which we used 18 inches. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Perfect. Okay. Now, we're going to take our 2 paper clips. We're just going to slide them right over our bowstring. If I can. Oh, there we go.
You got it. I believe
Nice. And all we're going to do is we're going to use this electrical tape, and we're going to tape these to the end of our dowel.
All right, now this, you want to get this pretty tight because this is what's holding the dowel to the bowstring. And if this is too loose, the dowel might end up flying out the front. So you definitely want to make sure this is on tightly. All right, and just like that, our dowel piston is permanently attached to that bowstring.
Semi-permanently.
It can't leave.
Ever. Okay, we're gonna move on. We've now got to create a better seal inside here so that our dowel doesn't wobble too much and it gives us nice push for our Nerf dart. So we're just gonna take off a little bit of this paper towel, fold it up, and then we'll just wrap it around our dowel until it fits nicely inside of our PVC. I'm gonna take a little piece of this tape.
This is kind of difficult to get a proper balance. You probably have to do it a couple times because you want it tight enough in the PVC that it forms a good fit, but you also want it to be able to move relatively freely.
That's too much.
Too much.
So I'll just take off a little bit at a time. I'm just cutting off about a 1/2 inch, and we're gonna try that fit.
Obviously, if it's too tight, when you pull it back and let go, it's not gonna move fast enough to shoot the dart.
And this one, again, it feels just a little too tight.
It does kind of pack down a little bit over time.
Well, maybe I'll stretch it here. See what that does. Ooh, that's nice. And we've got room for a little bit of tape. If you want to just wrap one around the top and maybe one around the bottom.
Okay.
Not too much tape, because once you get a good fit, you don't want to use the tape to give you too much extra dimension right there. Do you want to do one around the bottom?
On the bottom, go ahead and wrap around the towel, but then come down onto the dowel a good ways to make sure that it's stuck firmly to the dowel.
This tape does dowels and towels.
This part, you gotta pull the bow back quite a lot in order to stick it in. And there we go.
And this is why I said you don't have to have this perfectly straight, because once the dowel goes in, it helps straighten out the PVC.
I realize we did this a little bit out of order. Instead of attaching the bowstring to the dowel first, do the seal on the end of the dowel first, then you can push it into the pipe very easily. Then you can attach it to the bowstring, and you don't have to do this, like pulling it all the way back and then carefully feeding it through. That's just a real pain. Also helps if you go ahead and bevel with a knife or something, the inside of this right here, of the back end of the PVC, so it's less sharp. So that way, it doesn't cut the tape so much. And we test the friction. Moves pretty good. Got the correct amount of friction.
I like that. We need to shoot stuff. All right, we're now ready to test fire this thing. You'll just load up your dart right there, pull back, take your shot.
Oh!
Sweet, that was a great shot.
That really works, wow.
Yeah, that was
That's
good.
got some power too.
You wanna take some shots?
Yes.
Here.
Dart me.
I'm just the dart holder.
It's on the wrong side of the bow.
Ooh, great shot. We have a cool little quiver that you can build just using your scrap PVC. This is really easy to do and gives you access to your ammo right away. Also, you'll notice that this one has a much cooler look. It's very, very simple.
You can paint it.
What?
Isn't that crazy?
So yes, you can paint it, embellish it with a little tape. I particularly like tape at the ends here. It gives it more of a militaristic vibe. Very fun, very fun.
You can get colored electrical tape, that's what this is. And it just, sets it off really nicely.
Yeah.
There's a ton of stuff you can do.
So let's build that quiver. Now this step of the process is a lot easier with PVC cutters. You can just hold these at a 45-degree angle and make your cut.
You want a 45-degree cut on one end, like so, and then you want a flat cut on the other. Now it's best if you cut the 45-degree first, because they're not always the same length, and then you can measure from the edge of that cut to the other end. You want it to be roughly 1 3/4 inches, 2 inches would probably work fine, somewhere around there.
We made our first cuts, so all I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of eyeballing that and then putting my cutters on here and whoops, going for the next one.
Of course, we're using a cutter just because it's faster. You can do this with a handsaw too.
All right, to make the quiver, what you're gonna realize is that these darts are just gonna fall right through this PVC pipe. So we're gonna put a dab of hot glue right there to create a friction fit so that we can just slide them in and they'll stay.
About that much.
About
That's probably perfect. Let that dry.
Let's do some more.
Well, that's drying. We did realize something, which is that the more you shoot this, the more the dowel might want to escape the paper clips. That's why you want to make sure you tape it really well, because that dowel will get fired like an arrow. And that's not good. To fix that, we're going to create a thick layer of tape right here that will act like a stopper and make sure that the dowel stops and cannot get fired like an arrow, because that would be bad. So as you can see, that's so thick, it can't enter the PVC and the dowel can never escape. You can hear it slapping it.
Nice.
Haha, perfect.
These are ready.
Go ahead and test the fit. Yep, perfect. Just a little bit of friction keeps it from falling out.
Nice. So we'll just hot glue these things right about here. We've got 6 of them, and that is the perfect number to go all the way around and be able to maximize the space around the PVC. That is perfect.
And as an extra layer, we're gonna throw some electrical tape around it just to make sure that the hot glue doesn't fail on us. Just like this. I swear. Gosh dang it.
These are too much fun, man.
They really are. All right. Now, I've got one more trick up my sleeve, and that is a laser.
Ooh.
I went to the store and picked up a little laser gun sight. I'm thinking we just slap that bad boy right there. Will it clear? I bet it'll clear the magazine. It does.
Yes.
That's perfect. Look at that. I think we'll just tape it on.
Yeah.
Now we've got a laser. Laser guided Nerf blowgun.
Yeah, this is gonna work.
Sweet.
Okay, let's load it up. Well, I hope you had a great time. This was a super fun project. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let the random happen.
See you next time.
Hey Jake, are we gonna test that bow? Yeah. What, not on me? Dude, that stung.
There we go.